All right, 9:37. Welcome back, everybody. It is the last segment here. Eric McEwen here from Capital here. Ruth is on the phone. Ruth?
Yes.
Hi, Ruth. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We kind of got a preview of what your question's going to be, and I think it's a really good question. Lay it on us. What do you want to know?
Okay. My husband wears Siemens hearing aids. The first set he had a mold that sat in his ear.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with it was rotting his inner ear on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't do that anymore.
Right.
Now they've given them the new ones, which are a little wire with a small plug that goes into his ear, but it doesn't cut off the outside noise. And because he's so deaf, he can't hear with his hearing aids.
Right.
But they can't put a mold on this hearing aid because of the ear rot.
Oh, I see. Well, he's your husband, Ruth, has some issues that need to be resolved, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
We fight with these all the time.
Now, have you been back and forth to hearing clinics or doctors? What have you done?
We've been to the audiologist, we've been to hearing clinics, we've been to doctors, we've been everywhere. And they're just saying that, because apparently the skin on the inside of his ear is so thin that this is what's causing this ear rot on the inside.
Oh.
And because he's totally deaf, he needs to have the sound from the outside cut off to be able to hear anything with his hearing aids.
Right.
With this little wee plastic plug now that they've got this wire running into, it doesn't do him any good.
Can I? So I certainly I can see the philosophy of whoever you went to see. They've gone to the little wire hearing aid, and the piece that goes in his ear, is it a full sort of a plug in his ear? Is there any vents going through it at all?
It's a little wee round. No, it's very soft plastic, and it's just like it's a versatile thing. Like, it isn't made to fit his ear. It's just a little wee tiny round plastic plug. But this wire comes off the hearing aid and sets into, and this is very pliable, this thing that goes into his ear.
Right. So certainly, I'm not a big fan of a one-size-fits-all end at all. One-size-fits-all rarely works in our industry. So in terms of your husband's case, those hearing aids with the little wire, you can actually get a custom-made end on there, and we could make it extremely short. So by making it extremely short, hopefully we wouldn't be sending it all the way into his ear canal and making contact with that very thin skin.
That the problem that her husband's experiencing seems to be one that's not certainly common.
It isn't, but it's a great challenge. So it certainly it sounds like there's some solutions out there.
Yeah. And obviously something has to be
right
worked around or whatever. And that's the thing. What you see here, that's the equipment available, and there's more to it, but it's workable in many situations, right? Because everybody's so different in this area.
Everybody's unique, and you know what? There's nothing like a great challenge. So certainly there's all sorts of different things we can do, but it's always nice to get the full story. So certainly if you'd like a second opinion, you're more than welcome to ask us over at Capital Hearing.
Kind of a couple of short snappers, I like to call them, Eric. Quick Facebook questions. This is Joan, who asks, at what age should you get your hearing checked? What's maybe the first time, and how often?
Certainly, if you've got a young child, we recommend before they enter school, every young child get a hearing test.
Okay.
We are fortunate in Ontario now that we have a program, I call it new, but it's about, I guess, 6 or 7 years old, where all the infants are getting tested, but sometimes some moms and kids fall through the cracks, so you've got to make sure that your child at least gets a hearing test, either at the hospital or certainly before they start school. As we also, for example, I'm 41, and I can already see the little high-pitched sounds starting to get lower on my hearing test, and so I would suggest certainly in your 40s or 50s that you start going every couple of years, just to keep an eye on it.
Okay. And real quick question, Stacy says, if you have ringing in your ear, does a hearing aid help?
A hearing aid can help. And certainly I suggest you see all the various doctors to address the ringing issue first. Oftentimes we'll see people who they've come back from the doctor and the doctor said, well, there's really not much we can do for you.
Yeah.
So what happens is you've got this ringing in your ear, and usually it's associated with hearing loss. So when we fit a hearing aid, let's assume you move close to the airport. I used to live in Hunt Club. First 2 weeks I heard every plane going overhead. But after a couple of weeks, I heard the noise, but my brain was able to ignore the plane.
Yeah, because you get used to it, right?
Exactly. The same thing with the tinnitus and the ringing in your ear. So if we do have a hearing aid on there, does it cure it? No, but what it does, it takes the attention of your brain off the sound and onto the sounds that you're probably not hearing through hearing loss.
Very good. All right, we're out of time for this visit, Eric, but you'll be back in a few weeks, right?
Absolutely. At the
We're going to try to get over to Eric's clinic and show you exactly what's involved in a hearing test and that sort of thing, so people can see that.
Good.
And then we'll talk some more about hearing aids, hearing loss, all that sort of thing in about I think it's about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28th
end
is
of
what
April.
I'm hearing. 28th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, great to see you, my friend.
Good.
Thanks.
Thanks again.
All right, there's the information on how you can get in touch with one of the clinics, one of the Capital Hearing clinics in your area, Nepean, Canada, Almonte, or just go to the website for more information, capitalhearing.ca. That's Ask the Expert. We'll be back with more.